A long time ago, on the continent of Orana, the once magnificent empire of stars had crumbled into oblivion, paralyzed by its own power-hungry legions, and torn asunder by an ancient and merciless evil. But the 10th Legion, the dying empire's most valiant soldiers and most trusted, withdrew far to the west, to a land called Ebb, seeking to preserve what their empire had lost. Here, in the rugged mountains and the rich valleys of their new home, they founded the Kingdom of Ebb, a kingdom that has embraced peace and freedom for 300 years. But there was a price. Few now remember the evil that opposed them. Fewer still recall the dark sorceries cast to save them. And none could foretell that one humble father would stand between a vengeance from the past and the survival of the kingdom.
The Krug are attacking! I couldn't hold them back. You have long been my friend, but you can do nothing more for Oldham. Go to Stonebridge. Find Gyorn. The Krug have elsewhere betrayed us. Bravery will be needed by the king. Go. Go.
And with that exaggerated gesture, we are thrust right into the game. Now, our journal is blinking to tell us that we have a mission, saying that we need to seek Norik's friend Gyorn in the town of Stonebridge. So, we don't really honestly know what's going on, but we know we gotta deal with it. I have a feeling that these chickens have something to do with it. Maybe not. Whatever. What we're going to do, though, first is we're going to come over here and break some barrels. I am going to turn off these tips because I've played this before. So if you haven't, I apologize if you find that these tips might be useful, but they're not very useful to me. I've played this game enough that I don't need any of the tips. So our character starts off with very little ability, very little in the way of equipment, and we are thrust right into this responsibility of avenging our apparently dear friend, Norik. This is our first enemy of the game, a Krug, who is sort of, I guess, an orc, I guess you would say. I don't know what to call them, honestly. They're Krug, and you can pick things up from them. Now, this game is really nice in that there's a dedicated button for picking up items off the ground, so that if you have, especially when you have a bigger party, it makes things really quick and easy to collect all of these things that you're able to collect. So you press Z, which I will do as soon as I'm done defeating this Krug, if I'm ever done defeating this Krug. And that picks up everything on the ground that you can pick up, provided, of course, that you have the inventory room to do so. Now, this game, as you will see, is very much just a hack-and-slash, run-through, beat-em-up style, and I will do my best to give my quote-unquote expert opinion on this game, but I don't know how much of an expert I really am. Whoops, I am using magic when I don't intend to be. So that's something that's worth addressing right off the bat, is that whatever you decide to fight, whatever discipline you use to fight in, whether that's melee, ranged, or nature, or combat magic, you will continue to progress in that discipline the more you use it. So the more I fight with my hands, the better a melee fighter I would get. If I chose to switch to a different discipline, I would level up in that one respectively. Down here you can see I can control my party. Right now I am a party of one, which is rather appropriate, I think, for the name of this channel. That will change very shortly, however. For now, I want to stick with engage, and I do want to attack freely, and I want to target the strongest. Although, yeah, let's just do engage. What is that setting? Character stays in the vicinity to pursue enemy. That sounds pretty reasonable to me. You also have health and mana potions. Thankfully, you only drink whatever you are required to drink in order to get yourself up to full, so if you don't require the full use of a potion, you will not drink the entirety of the potion, which is rather nice. Now, I need to get away from that. I think it's a scrub? I forget what it's called. But they will just continue to peg you from a distance if you're not careful, so I recommend that you be careful. This is a farm scrub, which is one of the lesser varieties of scrub, and I don't want no scrub. Scrub never... Sorry. But I definitely don't want no scrub as I continue to move through the kingdom of Ebb on the way to Stonebridge. These are fracks, and I call them mosquitoes because, well, that's what they remind me of. They're kind of annoying, they don't really do a lot of damage, they just kind of hover there and make annoying sounds and bother you and don't really do a lot of damage. Although that said, if there's enough of them, sort of like these Krug, they can add up over time. So, take care of them. Don't ignore them. Enemies do stay dead, which is very nice, because once you've taken care of something, you don't have to take care of it again. There I go leveling up in my melee, and here I go attacking this frack piercer, which is a little bit better than your average frack, apparently. And here we have what may be my very first armor drop of the game, if I can ever kill this Krug. And of course another one comes up to ruin all of my fun, my explanation. That's okay, we'll take care of them. And is it any better than what I'm wearing? It's not, actually, so I'm not going to equip it. However, did I pick up a better weapon there? 2 to 5. Yes, I did. That is 1 better. I will definitely take 1 better, because it is 1 better. Any better is better than nothing, right? I think. Something like that. So here we go. Further on our quest to avenge our friend Norik. There's definitely flaws to this game, as there are with anything, right? But one of the major flaws is that the story is very loose. You're not really given much of it, to be honest, and when you are, it's very, you know, oh, there's an ancient evil in the 10th Legion, and it's just very, it could be a Lord of the Rings game. I mean, it could be anything. It's sort of copy-pasted from a lot of different stories, I guess you'd say. Actually, if you've ever seen Ross's Game Dungeon, Cursed Farms on YouTube, he actually covered Dungeon Siege in one of his Game Dungeon episodes, and I think he did a very good job of describing this game in that episode, because frankly, a lot of the points that he made are very, very poignant to this game. You will see other creatures running through there, like the Gremel, who are, you know, they're just sort of background characters. They pose no threat. They don't really do anything. They're just sort of there as background, I guess. Sort of liven up the environment a little bit. We will gladly take care of these fracks. We will gladly get pelted to death by this scrub. Hopefully not. As you can see, because I'm still starting out, I'm taking a lot of damage. I'm having to rely pretty heavily on my potions right now. That really won't change, honestly. I was saying that as though it would, but no, really it won't. I mean, even though you get more people, you still are very reliant upon your potions. You do need to keep an eye out for that health going down, because once it does, I will need to drink a health potion. I can go ahead and do that by pressing H. I can drink mana potions by pressing M. Fancy that. Although, once again, as a melee fighter, I'm not really going to be reliant all that much personally upon mana potions. There are many secrets and things to be seen to the side paths or alternate routes along the main path, but for the most part, it's a very linear progression through the map, onwards to Stonebridge and so forth. However, the game does reward exploration, so if you go off into these other paths and things, you can find any number of treasures and goodies and things and such. I'm actually starting to one-shot these frags. And the Krug! I'm getting just a little bit better. Oh, one thing I want to do, as I'm noticing now, is to put on my health and mana bars at the bottom, so that I can see when I'm in danger a little more immediately, because admittedly I don't always necessarily look up to that top left portion where my profile is found. I usually just look at what my characters are doing. It is sort of, you know, where the action is. And we continue to progress. So far, no offshoots to be explored, plenty of mosquitoes to be killed, however, as this Gremel follows us and tries to make friends. We cannot make friends with the Gremel, but if we were to be a high enough, I think it's a nature mage, you can summon one of those things, a giant killer Gremel, which I think honestly is quite hilarious. But it is kind of a nice thing that you can have a maximum party of 8, although I don't think that includes any summoned creatures, so theoretically, this is a trap, but theoretically, you could have a party of 8 people, each one of them a mage that is capable of summoning creatures, and if they each summon their own creature, I think, theoretically, you could have a party of 16 characters at one time. I've never tried it. Frankly, I'm tempted to. Maybe if I ever did a replay of this game, I would give it a shot, but I don't think I'm going to be doing that in this Let's Play. For now, I just want to get through this house. There are some things up here we can collect, such as this magic armor and whatever is on this bookcase, which we are actually not going to collect. That is one of the many books you can find in this game. The books you can read to get some additional information about the backstory and the plot and things like that. And some are more useful than others. All of them are pretty dry, though, to be honest with you. And they don't really reveal anything that you need to know. If you just keep along the path and keep killing things, then you will eventually get to the end of the game. You do not need to know anything about the story to progress. And that is, I think, a fault of the game. It's a little... it takes a little bit away from the game, I think, to not have a more fleshed out story or a reason for this quest. Your reason for coming along with me may well be just for entertainment, and well, maybe this game was set up just for entertainment, because that's how they treat the story anyway. Doesn't make it any less enjoyable. But here, if you look up ahead, you can see the very first, or at least as far as I know, the very first side mission of the game, where we can go into this little optional cave, and it gets eerily quiet when you do. That's because there's something in here waiting for us, with evil intent, or bear-like intent. And it is, well, a bear. We're going to take care of this bear. And by take care of it, I mean we're going to stab it repeatedly with a knife until it is dead. Sorry, bear. But, you know, this is what we do as an adventurer. Apparently it's our job to not only avenge our friend Nord, but to hit everything that we see along our way to doing so. Oop, bear was doing some decent damage to me there. But I have... Whoa, 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 that was close. Once you start blinking like that, you know you're in danger because you're about to go unconscious, and once you're unconscious, you are easy pickings. They can just tear you apart and kill you right then and there. I do not want to be killed. I want to kill this bear. But doing 2 damage per hit is going to make this relatively slow going, hence all the potion drinking. And I love how the bear is content to just wait for me to drink my potion. I mean, he's still swinging, but he's like, oh no, go ahead, drink your potion, it's cool. Alright, so we've got some new leather, we've got some gold. Can I actually wear that leather? Yes, I can, and it'll give me a health bonus as well, which is rather nice. On top of the additional armor that it provides, which is very nice. 32 gold! I think that's the most we've seen thus far in a single stack. That will change. You can eventually transmute items, which, aside from towns, that is salvation in Dungeon Siege speak, because, man, inventory space becomes a premium very quickly. As a matter of fact, you can already see We're pretty close to filling up our inventory, and we have gotten virtually nowhere. So, this is going to quickly become a problem, and it's not one that's ever going to really resolve itself. Pretty much always going to have to deal with inventory problems. One solution that the game gives you to deal with this are hireable pack mules. But unfortunately, my phone is ringing in the background, so I hope you can't hear that. If you can, I'm sorry. But pack mules, to get back on topic, they're okay. I personally prefer to have another set of hands that are capable of fighting versus something that can just carry things, because the pack mules tend to be susceptible to getting their butts handed to them, particularly in tight quarters, and there are a good amount of tight quarters in this game, and I'm getting absolutely rushed by these mosquitoes and the Krug right now. I did not mean to run in and attract the ire of all of these enemies. Whoa, where did you come from? Where in the world did you come from? I thought I cleared everything out over here. That is rather odd, but whatever. We will continue on. Continue to kill these mosquitoes. Actually, I'm going to go kill that boss because it is definitely the biggest threat. And once it's taken care of, the others will be easy pickings, I think. Hopefully. That is, if they don't make me easy pickings first. As you can see, I'm getting ganged up quite a bit here. But they are also content to let me drink my potions. How very kind. Alright, and they have dropped a hammer. Or that mosquito dropped a hammer, which I think is better than the knife that I'm currently using. Let's take a look. Oh yeah, 7 to 10. That is a lot better. That is 5 to 5. Whatever, it's a lot better. We're going to use it. I'm going to be hammering people in the face. Oh yeah. More Krug dogs to deal with. We can certainly handle that. We just dealt with like 30 mosquitoes, man, and a bear. You got nothing on that bear. I heard you. I think I saw you too, but... Wow, now I'm really one-shotting these guys. Look at this. Alright, and I just increase in strength. Those stats do become useful as you go on because you can use better equipment. But it's not a big deal either. I mean, I guess it is. As I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth here. I'm just really into this, the atmosphere of the game. I think that this, one thing this game does very well is atmosphere. Whether you're out in a world, in a situation like this where you're sort of on a farm that's kind of rainy and whatever, just everything just feels like you're there. I don't know how to describe it. And in particular, one of my favorite places, maybe in a game period, is the ice caverns in this game. And I'm really looking forward to getting to the ice caverns. But admittedly, that's a long ways out. For now, our goal is merely to make it to Stonebridge. And Stonebridge we shall make it to. That is, of course, after we deal with all these Krug. There are so many Krug to deal with before we get to Stonebridge. It is unbelievable how many Krug there are to deal with before we get to Stonebridge. And there's more than that, folks. There is much more than that indeed. But we will progress. We will walk through trees. Because we can. We're the hero of this game. Physics don't apply to us. Jesus, for a second there, it looked like the frack was attacking the Krug dog. Although I know that infighting is not a thing in this game. So unlike Doom, or things like that, you cannot make the characters attack, or the enemies attack each other, which is kind of unfortunate. It would be kind of nice. So this game really starts to pick up once you start getting more party members, and admittedly that's a decent ways out from where we are now, but we'll be getting there soon enough. And once it does, boy does it pick up big time, and then it really becomes enjoyable. For now, it's really just kind of a slog and getting to the next thing. And I know it may not be a lot to look at, but it's entertaining as all get out to me. I mean, again, this is 2002 graphics and everything, folks, so I don't know what to say to you there. But I love the atmosphere in this game, and that's why I thought this would be a good one to start out with for a Let's Play. But you know what? that's going to do it for this episode, and I will catch you next time on LAN Party of One. Let's play Dungeon Siege. See you next time.